It was very nearly a catastrophe in New York, but for the quick action of one US pilot. But very quickly, with 155 passengers on board, it turned into a race for the emergency services to get everybody off the plane. There was a real danger it could sink into the icy waters. The emergency doors were opened and passengers scrambled onto the wings to wait for the rescue teams. Some jumped onto the boats. Others had fallen into the water to be rescued by divers. Despite temperatures of -7, everybody survived.
For a second I just thought that I was going to die right there in a plane, you know. I was just going to drown to death. Within a second I think I ripped it. I had all of my clothes off and I had gotten onto a seat, and once I had my clothes off and I had gotten onto the seat, that's when it started to calm down a little bit and people started to move. I was able to get over the seats and get, you know, onto the dinghy.
And I heard an explosion. So I've heard it before, so I thought they just lost an engine. Then I looked down, I saw some flames coming out from underneath the left wing. And I said, all right, this isn't good. But you didn't feel that out of it until you saw the New York skyline getting closer and closer. And he was coming down faster and faster, and you're like, I hope he does the right thing. And he did. The pilot gets all the credit. He did the right thing. He got us in the water.
The Airbus 320 took off from LaGuardia Airport just after 3 o'clock local time yesterday. Within a minute, the pilot reports a bird strike. The plane only 1,000 feet, leaving little time to act. Then 3 minutes in, witnesses report both engines were on fire. The pilot radios he can see Teterboro Airport, but decides he won't make it. Instead, he turns down the Hudson River, close to skyscrapers on both sides. As he slows to near stalling speed, it's vital the wingtips don't hit the water, which could cause the plane to cartwheel. He lands just 6 minutes after takeoff, in line with Manhattan's 48th Street.
It would appear that the pilot did a masterful job of landing the plane in the river and then making sure that everybody got out. I had a long conversation with the pilot. He walked the plane twice after everybody else was off and tried to verify that there was nobody else on board and assures us there were not.
The flight captain, Chesley Sullenberger, was a former US Air Force fighter pilot with over 40 years' experience. His website shows he's almost written the rule book into safety procedures. As tugboats secured the plane last night, passengers were taken to nearby hospitals, shaken, cold, but most not seriously hurt.
When it popped, we figured that it's impossible to have two engines blow. And we figured this guy's turning, going to LaGuardia. And then we said, oh my God, this guy is falling in the river. And all of a sudden we're at 1,000 feet, 500 feet.
It came quick. And
250 feet.
And this is an image of the plane approaching the river. It's thought it was brought down by a flock of geese. Bird strike, as it's called, is a relatively common event, but most cause no problems for aircraft. Investigators are now examining exactly how both engines could fail at once.